hold people accountable for their actions. Until we as a society learn to love and appreciate one another as human beings that share a planet and a community together. Until we show people that you have a right to protect your home. You have a right to protect your neighborhood. We all want to live safely. In fact, the reason this family is even here in North Carolina is for that very reason. Because they have moved. And this mother has moved her children. And she thought she found someplace safe here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And we stand before you today with them having to bury her baby boy. But the right to protect your home and the right to protect your neighborhood is not obsolete in the sense that you can't inject yourself into a situation and create a situation and then take a life for no reason. And then say your justification was, I wanted to take my neighborhood back. I wanted to protect my home. Because what Mr. Copley did is not protect his neighborhood, not protect his home. He took the life of an innocent man, of a 20-year-old, of a son, of a brother, of a boyfriend, of a friend. So with that said, we'll now hear a few words from Kouren-Rodney's mother, Miss Simone.
What can I say? What can I say? Corey was a good boy. He wasn't there no more than a half an hour. They was on their way home. He didn't bother nobody. He stayed between here and his friend's house. He was a good boy. There's no words can explain. I would never want a parent to have to go through what I'm going through now. And all my family. Corey loves the color pink. Everything I bought him that I seen that was pink, I got it for him. He wasn't dressed when he left with sagging pants or do-rag or anything that people call hoodlums will wear. He asked me before he left, which he never does, to take a picture of him. I took a picture of him. He had blue t-shirt, blue jeans with the belt, boots with his pants on the outside of his boots. It wasn't tucked in. There was nothing hood about him. His friend Chris had a pair of blue jeans on, a dress shirt. Would this happen if there was Caucasian boys skateboarding up and down the street 1 o'clock in the morning? Were they called hoodlums? These boys was invited to a party, didn't feel comfortable, and they was on their way home. I just want justice for my son. That's it. For all the parents, all the kids, everybody. Anybody that knows me in this neighborhood know that I do a lot of funds for the kids with my ladies group. We do safe trick-or-treating. We have our cars out here made up in Disney characters. We didn't even want scary characters because we don't want our kids to be growing up gobs and goblins and everything that was negative. We parked our cars out here and we gave the neighborhood kids candy so they wouldn't have to knock on the door. They don't have to be approached by people that want to do harm. Easter, we went to another neighborhood. Kouren helped us fill over 2,000 Easter eggs so the kids can have an Easter egg hunt. He was a good kid. And I don't have him no more. And there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I gotta bury my child. I haven't even seen him yet. I just want all of this to end. All the killing, black kids, white kids, adults. I'm just tired. Everybody should be tired every day. I have 3 sons. I still have 3 sons. One is gone. I still got 2 sons that I have to worry about now every day. Going to work, coming home from work. When is it gonna end? When is it gonna end? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't talk no more.
It's okay. My baby brother. There's nothing bad that I can say about my baby brother. The only thing that I know for a fact about him was that he always made me smile. Even during all my bad times when I was going through my things. And I saw him a couple of days ago. He came out his Uber cab. He saw me walking. He got out his Uber cab. He hopped out. And he's just like, Chris, where you been? And for those 2 hours that we spent, all I did was laugh and feel so much better about my situation. And only to come back home and deal with even a bigger one and not have my baby brother. I don't know how to deal with this. I'm trying to be so strong for my family. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to now. I don't know who's gonna make me laugh. I'm scared to smile because he was the only one that made me do it. Oh, this hurts so bad. I wish that everybody would not have to go through what we have to go through. I want this to be the last time that we ever have to go through this again. This should be the last time we should ever have to have any interviews about any lost souls. I just want my brother back. But I can't. But it's gonna be okay because his death is not in vain. And we're gonna make sure of that, and that we're gonna promise that. That's all I have to say, guys. That's it.
At this time, I'll entertain any questions that you all may have, but the family right now is not going to take any questions.
Justin, do you know any more about where he was when he was shot? I know that the group was in the street. Do you have any idea about specifically where he was?
Well, what you can envision is a house party with 20-year-olds or 19-year-olds. Some are inside and some are out in the yard, and some may be in the streets. If you look around here, when you come, there's not a whole bunch of parking. So you're not always going to be able to park directly in front of the house you're going to, okay? And that's okay. That's not against the law. It's my understanding that Kouren, he was not in Mr. Copley's yard. So at the end of the day, the only thing that matters here is the fact that where Kouren was, he was legally entitled to be. And that's really the end-all be-all.
You're probably familiar with the Castle Doctrine in North Carolina, and we talked to some attorneys yesterday who don't believe that that this case would fall within that you have to have proof that somebody's in imminent danger. You have to have proof that somebody's trying to get into your home, and it doesn't appear that those things exist.
At this time, it appears to me that Castle Doctrine is not even something that should be brought up. Mr. Copley was within the confines of his own house. His garage door, my understanding, was down, and he shot through the window. Castle Doctrine has its own issues, and we've seen it. We saw it in Florida with George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. We've seen it all across the country. And that is a discussion that needs to be had here from a legislative standpoint, is are we allowing our laws to give people a way out when they make a bad decision and take someone's life? I'm just as pro-Second Amendment and pro-protect the house as anyone can be, and I'm a legislator in South Carolina. But at the end of the day, people need to know that there are consequences for your actions. And the problem that is presented all across America is that when the system consistently fails victims and allows people to walk free, when they do these terrible things, other people will feel empowered and feel like they can do it. Protect your home. Protect your family. That's your right. And if you weren't doing that, I would say as a member of a family or the man of the house, you're not doing your job. But you need to know what you can and can't do. And what you can't do is shoot at innocent people through your garage door window.
Justin, the 911 said that they were displaying firearms. Was there any suggestion that Mr. Thomas was armed?
Mr. Thomas was not armed. He did not have a firearm. And as far as I know, there's no evidence that anyone out there had any firearms. Of course, the investigation is ongoing from the police standpoint, but as far as I am aware, there were no firearms in play here.
And also, wouldn't darkness be a factor here? I mean, you're shooting, like you said, through a window, into the night, into a group of people who may be, however many yards away in the street. It would be very hard for anybody to see what he described.
Here's one of the biggest problems. In this situation, Mr. Copley was safe in his house. Even if someone in the street had a gun, that does not give you the right to just shoot at them from the safety of your own home. So all of the hypotheticals that exist, in my opinion, are moot because there's no justification for what he did. You hear his claim that he was part of the neighborhood watch, right? Neighborhood watches are a great thing, and homeowners associations are a great thing. But you are not the police. I have done these police cases across the country. Walter Scott, Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Bryant Hayward. Policing is a difficult job, and we see all the time that they do mess up, and they have extensive training. So while we want people to protect their neighborhoods and protect their homes, what we don't want are vigilante homeowners who try to play police, judge, jury, and executioner. We cannot have that, and it stops if we have anything to do with it today.
How important, and pardon me, I didn't introduce myself, I'm Amanda Lamb with WRAL-TV, we're the NBC here. How important are these 911 tapes?
I think the 911 tapes are extremely important. Of course, when you're looking at a charge like murder, there's a mentality requirement. It's called mens rea. And what you hear on the tape is, what I hear on the tape is, this is what is going on. This is my description of it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm locked and loaded. I am going to take my neighborhood back. Send the PD, but I'm going outside to handle business. That's what I hear on that tape. And I think that's very important. Of course, you have the admission on tape. I shot somebody. I don't know if they got hit, but I shot, right? I think that is all supporting evidence that will ease things along the process. Now, I say all of that to say this, and as a lawyer, it's something I firmly believe. No matter what side you're on, as a defendant, you are entitled to the constitutional idea of innocent until proven guilty. So again, what we think is one thing, but the system has to run its course. And that is why we say, what is justice? There are a number of parts there, and we think that justice will run its course and that this family will get the result that they do deserve.
You've been calling Copley George Zimmerman 2.0. Can you explain why you think there are similarities between the Trayvon Martin case and this case?
Well, the reason I refer to him as George Zimmerman 2.0 is because there are similarities. George Zimmerman, of course, Mr. Neighborhood Watch, Mr. I'm going to play police, Mr. I'm going to pass judgment on someone that I see that I know nothing about based on what he's wearing and what he looks like and what I think he may be up to. And then you have Mr. Copley, aka Mr. George Zimmerman 2.0, who does the same thing. I'm Neighborhood Watch. There are hoodlums, as he sees them outside. I'm going to investigate it myself, and I'm going to play police. So there are some similarities. But one of the biggest differences here than what we saw in the Trayvon Martin case is the fact that there was no altercation. It was never up close and personal. Mr. Copley was never at harm for anything. Not saying George Zimmerman was, but it never even got that far because Mr. Copley never left his house. He never left his position of safety. He was never reasonably in danger of imminent harm. He shot through a closed garage door into a street full of young, innocent people. So there are similarities, but I have this feeling in my gut that there will be different outcomes.
Justin, what is your next legal step? And already as an attorney, what is your legal, what do you plan to do legally?
My role here is multiple. Given my experience in handling these situations, as you know, in Charleston, we had an officer who was charged with murder. And although I represented the family on the civil side, I walked them through the criminal process because for a lot of people, it's an uncomfortable situation. So I'm going to make sure that the family understands what's going on, that any questions they have are answered. And I'm going to be standing watch to ensure that the prosecution pursues justice as they should, to monitor the criminal investigation in the months to come. But I'm also looking at the civil side. We know this individual apparently was a homeowner. We know that there was an HOA. We know that it's my understanding, of course, that there were prior incidences involving Mr. Copley at his residence. Should he have been allowed to stay in that neighborhood? So I'm investigating all potential civil claims as well.
Are you filing a lawsuit or are you filing any kind of legal briefs or anything?
If it is determined that there are valid civil claims, then those will be filed if things can't be resolved pre-litigation, of course.
And just to be clear, is the family happy with the police work in this matter and how this has been brought to fairly quick arrest and resolution to that end?
Yeah, typically families have to fight, unfortunately, for an arrest. But things were a lot different here. And I must say, I have to commend the Raleigh Police Department for the work that they've done, not just that night, but so far. Mr. Copley was charged with murder within 24 hours. He was denied bail. And that is something that many families across America are still seeking. They want an arrest. They want bail denied. So the family is happy with that. They are pleased with that. But that is just the start. The family won't be satisfied until there is a conviction at a later date.
Do you know if Kouren had ever met Mr. Copley?
No, I have. It's my understanding that they don't know each other. They've never seen each other. If they had walked past each other on the street, they wouldn't know any different.
What about others at the party? Do you know if they were aware of Mr. Copley or had any past experiences with him, those at that party?
I'm not sure about the kids. I think it's a safe assumption. Well, I don't know. You used to could say it was a safe assumption that you know your neighbors personally. But the best person to ask there would probably be the individual homeowner who lived across the street from Mr. Copley. But I don't have any information on that.
And you mentioned he'd had prior run-ins with HOA and problems. What is your understanding of the problems he's had, Mr. Copley's had before?
It's my understanding that, and I won't get into the specifics because I'm still investigating, but I do have information that there were some prior incidences at the residence, maybe some domestic disturbances or the like. But I do believe there's a documented history of incidences there and possibly law enforcement being called to the residence.
Among those incidents, listening to the 911 recordings, there was mention from one of the neighbors, doors down, we weren't able to find that neighbor. She described the hate crime. Have you explored that?
Now I will be looking into every single piece of information that is out there. At this time, I haven't. But you can trust that in the next coming months, if there's a stone on the ground, I'm going to pick it up and look under it. Thank y'all so very much for coming out. We appreciate your time.
Can we get the name of the brother, please?